We are also going to be recording this session. So for those who can't make it, you will be able to hear the recording as well and find it on our FRT YouTube playlist after the session is over. So to begin today's session, as you all would have read, our topic right now is on Azure and AI integration. So the reason why we are talking about AI integration is because we have a very big announcement upcoming for all of you students. So for all of you who are yet to submit your Future Ready Talent Programs project, we are going to start including an AI component into your FRT journeys as well. So as you know, AI is the latest buzzword that is going around, and many recruiters are also looking for students who have some exposure and experience of using AI in their education fields as well, which is why we do want to encourage more students to start thinking about how to use AI services in their FRT project as well. As part of this particular change that we are looking to implement on the Future Ready Talent Program, starting 20th of November, all of you who submit your project after the 20th of November will have a mandatory component of including an AI service in your FRT project, which is why today's session and all of our sessions leading up to the 20th will be focused around AI service integration. And we encourage you to actively pay attention to these sessions because they will be answering a lot of the questions that you will have in terms of how do I even get started in for adding an AI service as well. So these sessions are meant to help equip you so that you're ready in order to start working on your projects, incorporating AI in your projects as well. So please do pay attention to our special mentor who we do have on today's call. A second announcement, since this is a new campaign that we are going to be running on the Future Ready Talent platform, we are also going to be offering students starting 20th of November onwards. We will be offering the first 1,000 students who successfully submit their FRT project, including an AI component, and successfully pass as well. So their evaluation result needs to be successful. They will also be getting a Microsoft t-shirt from our team as well. So this is on a case-by-case scenario. Not everyone will get this t-shirt, unfortunately, but we do want to use this as a method for you to start thinking about how to add AI components into your FRT project as well. So we will be sharing with you more details around the AI announcement, as well as around the campaign to introduce the Microsoft T-shirts awards to the first 1,000 students. We will be sharing all of that information in an email through our Future Ready Talent Support team. So do be on the lookout for that. For today, we do want to have a session where we start talking to you about how to actually utilize AI services and how to start thinking about different ways that you can incorporate AI and machine learning into your projects so that when our formal announcement comes about, you are already future ready and equipped to handle that particular process update. Just a couple of announcements before I introduce our guest speaker as well. Please do stay on mute. This is a 1 hour session, and we do want to ensure that there are no disruptions or interruptions to the speaker while he is presenting. So do stay on mute. After the presenter has completed his presentation, we will open it up to question answers. During the question answers round, we will ask you to come off on mute and you can ask your question directly to the presenter that we have today as well. So I'll just go ahead and introduce everybody who is on the call with us today. I'd also actually first like to request Venu or Sai, if you could please also start the recording for the session. Um,
Yeah, it
so
is
we
already
can also.
recording.
Okay, great. So students, just to introduce today on the call, my name is Nuria Puri. I work with Microsoft and I'm part of the Future Ready Talent team. Along with me, I have my colleague Vaishnavi, who is from Foundit as well as part of the Future Ready Talent team. We have Akila, who is part of the ByteXcel team with the Future Ready Talent team and is part of our evaluation team as well. So if you have any questions also related to your FRT projects, Akila will be able to assist you with that as well. And lastly, and most importantly, we have our speaker, Ashok Pandey, who has over 15 years of experience of training students in Microsoft certifications as well as Microsoft tools. So we are very privileged and honored that Ashok is able to join us today. He is a champion on everything got to do with Microsoft and Microsoft Azure. So this is a great time for you to also be able to learn from him, but also to be able to ask your questions so that you can also improve in terms of your own Azure learning as well. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to Ashok. Ashok, over to you.
Thank you, Nora, for your interactions. Welcome back. Welcome, guys, everyone. Guys, as you are aware about the topic, today we are going to learn about the machine learning. Guys, most important thing that we want to actually tell you is you must have a Azure subscription. Okay, Azure subscription is important, and more important thing is you must be aware with how to use that subscription. Actually, you get free credit of $100, and guys, we need to use this the credit wisely. Otherwise, you know what will happen is if you have during creation of the account, if you have used your credit card unnecessary, you may be charged. So guys, be very wiseful when you use this limit. Okay, $100. I will tell you these things also again in our later on. Okay guys, just switch back to my I hope you can see my screen. Everyone, great. So first thing
Yes, sir.
first that we are, yeah, first thing first that you need to do is you need to have a subscription as your subscription. So as your subscription is an important key, otherwise you will not be able to use any of the Azure based resources. Okay, this is the important. And as we are focused on today, we are focusing on Azure ML, machine learning. So this is the important part. So if you have the subscription, you can use this tool as well. So as you can see, I have already logged into portal.azure.com. You are and we need ml.azure.com.
Hello.
Okay, we need these two. So
Hello.
if you hello. Now we need to log into our Azure, and if you see here, I have already logged into my account. Okay, I have the credit, I have logged into my subscription, and if I click here, you see this, we have the, so you can look for your objects also. Like if you want to look for search for any of the services, in the search box you can search your service and you will see your service right over here. So first of all, you need to create your resource. So if I click here, so what is the important thing? I need a resource group. Resource group is kind of container. It's container where all our resources resides. Now you have to assign a name. You have to assign a name. Name must be unique. Okay, your name must be unique. So what I am doing is I am using AG Mac. So I have used this name. So these are the unique informations which has been already created.
Can you
Now
please
I
tell
will
why
use,
you are using these services?
yes, sir.
Hi,
Why you
Abhik.
are using this service?
Hi, Abhik. Can you stay on mute, or if you have a question, can you please paste it in the chat? Today's theme topic is on machine learning and Azure services for FRT. So this is why our speaker is going through this particular service.
Okay.
Ashok, please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Okay, just I click on review and create. So and just I click on create. So it is going to create my resource which I will need to use in my ML. My second URL is ml.azure.com. As I told you that we need to use two portals. First one is portal.azure.com and second is the ml.azure.com. Here we will train our model. Okay, so here we will train. So the resource which you create here, it will be available here. If I go here, now you see this, what it is asking me, workspace name, and I don't have any workspace. You can see this, there is no workspace available because my process is, you can see it is in progress. So once my service or the resource get deployed and created successfully, then my workspace will be visible here. It will be visible here. It's not here because it's not been created before. If you have already your workspace, if you have already created your workspace before, you can continue to work. We are going to train our machine to learn or predict some of our requirements. For example, we have a site https colon double forward slash dot ms. So we are going to use these informations to predict my requirement of a bicycle. Okay, so we will actually train our machine to predict some informations for us. So now if I go back here, still you can see what deployment is completed. So if I click here, what it is saying, deployment is succeeded. So once it is done, go back to your ml.azure.com. And do you see this? We have deployed our workspace. We have deployed our workspace. So your workspace has to be deployed from the Azure portal. Okay, and that will be discovered in ml.azure.com. So that's why at the beginning I told you that you need a Azure subscription. You need a Azure subscription, and you need, the moment you create, as you have your Azure subscription, you can use this one. So we have to go with portal.azure.com, and we have to also use ml.azure.com, ML machine learning. So now, if I come here, you can see that we have this workspace. So if I click here, now guys, before you proceed and do anything, make sure that there is a service requirement and it's a preview service and it is enabled. So just we need to make sure that our service is enabled. We need to make sure that this service is enabled. So as you can see that it is already enabled, so no need to take any actions. It is already done. Okay, so now so now where we are? We are in our machine learning. So we have deployed our services very well, successfully, and we have verified that the service which we need is already enabled. So now here you see this. What we have, automated ML, machine language. So if I click here, what we have to create a new job. So that's mean what? Creating new job means we want to train our machine learning. We want to train our model. So what are the type of data you have? Based on that, you will train your machine language. So I just click on this, and now it is asking for a name. It is asking for a name. So I say, machine learning. So now bike auto ML, and you need to specify a name. So I say rental. Now if you want to specify a description, it's up to you. You describe your define your descriptions. So now we just describe. Okay, we just define a description. That's it. Now I am going with next, and the model that we are going to use is the regression. Okay, because regression because we are going to work with the integers. Okay, value. So that's why we have selected the regressions type, and now we are going to create a data set. So actually it is what, as you know, data set is pre-processed. Okay, and now I just going to click here, and we need to specify a name. So I say bike rental. Now if you want, you can define your descriptions. So it is past now. I'm going with next, and you have different sources from where you can collect your data. You can define your source of the data. Now for the our sake, we are going to use the web file. So I selected the web file. Now we need to define the URL. The URL which I show you here. The URL which I define here. I show you already. So now I am going to define that one. So I say HTTPS colon. Now I say aka dot Microsoft MS slash bike. Now I have defined my URL here. Now I say next. Now it will collect the information. It is gathering the informations from the site which we have defined here. You can see loading data. So it has loaded the data, and now I say only 5. Just wait, it's loading. Now you can see that it has loaded the informations. The same informations that I have show you here. Okay, this is a comma separated value which has been given. Now the same information it has pulled, okay, from the website we have defined. Okay, so now there are a lot of informations available. Now I say next. Okay, and these are the informations that I want. These are my schemas, and I say next and say create. Now we are on the task and data. Right over here, you can see that we have already created our data set where we have defined our source from where this data set, this ML will pull the informations for training. Now I say next. Now here the value which we have defined before, and here you see this, we have target column. So if I click here, we have rental integers. Now if I click here additional column, we don't need this, and we are going to select or define some of our models. Just wait. Now we have selected our model, and then we have limit. Now here you have to define some of the criteria's limit. Okay, so for the time being, maximum trials I define. I define a value. Now, I have defined these settings here as part of the task settings. Now I say next, and there are some informations like what type of compute you want. So there are different type of compute available. So you can use serverless, you can use your compute cluster or the compute instances. We are going with the serverless, and you can see that the type of virtual machines it will use at the back end, the CPU dedicated. So these are the these are the resources it is going to use at the back end. Now and submit the training job.
Ashok, just one question as you're filling up the data. We have one question from a student, Nanda Kumar, who is asking if the values are random or to be given as predefined values. If you want to just answer that.
Okay, great, great. Actually, this is what you have your past experience. Like you have a shop, you have records. So how many like objects or the things you have sold out in past years. So you have a record. It is based on that. It is a historical record. It's not random. It's not random. It's a historical record which you may have saved somewhere. So based on that.
Okay,
Is
so
it clear?
Ashok,
Yeah.
just to follow up, a student is asking if it's possible to give a validation data set over here.
Yes, you can give.
Okay, great.
Yes. So now, so you can see it is running. So you can see it is running. Okay, so this process will take a little bit time. So meanwhile, I can show you something. So guys, if we talk about Azure machine learning, so as you know that Azure is a cloud-based platform. So here we are using one of the service. Machine learning is one of the service. Machine learning is, remember that it's a foundation for most of your AI solutions. We have been using this since long time, like since 1950, long. So at that time, we used to call it as a data science or the data scientist. But the name becomes more famous few years back. Now, when we talk about machine learning, most of our modern applications, they are actually based on the machine learning, where we combine both the computer and the mathematics. So as I told you that we need what? We need subscription. We need subscription. So once you have subscription, what you need? You need Azure workspace. So in the workspace, we define all these things. So as you saw that we define our compute, jobs, there are different services, models, data. Data can be pulled from either the website, local, SQL database. So it's up to you where from you want to pull your data. Now, if we talk about machine learning, so machine learning can learn based on your informations. It uses different type of algorithm at the back end. And then based on the informations that we have supplied, it predicts. It predicts and generate the result. Machine learning can be of different type. So we are going with this option, regression. Regression, it actually uses numerical value. So based on your historical informations like your day, season, weather, it can be trained, and then it can predict. Now, machine learning, as you can see that it can be supervised or it can be unsupervised. Regression is part of the supervised machine learning. Later on in our coming sessions, we will see how classification, we work with the classifications. But today we are focusing on regression. It can be also clustered. Now there is a difference between the supervised and unsupervised. Supervised actually use the level. And this is unleveled. So we will see this one later on also. Just let me see if it is done or not. It's running. Look at here, no value till now. It is running, and it is still running. Now, if you have a question that how machine learning works, if you have this, so remember, it learns everything from data. So machine learning depends on your data. It depends on data. So, you know, in today's era, we have huge amount or volumes of data. This data can be of any type, any type. It can be a message, it can be email, or it can be anything such as like your social media post. It can be video, it can be photograph. Means what? We generate massive amount of data, or you can say informations, which are created in different locations, in different way. Now, machine learning, which is also data scientist, can use this data to evaluate, can use this data to predict. It creates a relation, and then generate a meaningful result, which we can use for future reference. Now, just give me 1 minute. Let me check the status. As you can see, it is completed. Now, my bike auto ML, and you can see that here overview is selected and algorithm. I am clicking on this, and if I click here, matrix, you can see the type of information it has actually predicted. So prediction true. So this is what it compared the predicted value. So it compared the true value and the predicted value. And there is residual chart. So this one, actually it shows the differences between the predicted and the actual value. So you can refer this one. Now, if I click on the model, now you can see I have one option here, deploy. Now, if I click here, so I have web service. So if I click on the web service, it is asking for me to define a name. So I am going to define that rental, sorry, Now, oh, sorry, it must be a small letter. Okay, you cannot use a capital letter here. So compute type. So I'm going with the container instance and enable authentications, and then I say deploy. So once I deploy this one, so you can see that it is in progress, and this process takes time. It can take up to 15 to 20 minutes. So meanwhile, we can focus on other points. So if you want, you can look at the jobs also. You can look at the jobs also. So it will show you the current status of the job. Okay, so now here it is in progress. Okay, so we have to wait for this one to get completed. Now, as I told you that when we talk about the machine learning, so the data that you have generated, ML use those data to generate a meaningful result which you can use for your future reference. It actually, ML always try to capture the relationship between the data. It can be based on any circumstances. It can be environmental, or it can be also conservation, anything. So it tried to identify the type of data. So what type of image is it? It tried to understand that. And it is can be anywhere. Now, if we talk about the Azure ML, we have different options. in Azure ML, we have Azure ML like sorry, this should be like ML in Azure. So now, if we talk about the machine learning in Azure, we have automated ML, we have Azure ML, machine learning designer, we have automated machine Azure machine learning designer. It's a graphical interface, GUI. You don't need any coding. You don't need coding. It is no
Microsoft
coding development. It is no coding development. So you don't need any coding for this one. No coding. We have another one which is called data matrix visualization. We have data matrix visualization. So if you want some visualization experience, so this data matrix visualization help you to analyze and optimize your experience. And we have notebook. We have notebooks. So if you want to write and run your own code in your managed notebook, you can. So we have a notebook servers and you can write and run your own codes. This is actually directly integrated in the studio. So you have these options available in when we talk about Azure ML in Azure. Now let me check once. As you can see that deployment is in progress. So once it get completed, then we will be able to check our results. We can test our deployment or predict our rentals real time. So we will supply some of the input and then it will be trained to generate the result for us. It will actually create a script which is JSON based script. We just need to fill the informations or supply the informations. Based on the informations we will supply, it will predict or show us the result. Still in progress. You can see if I click on the test, you see it is blank. So that's mean what? Our endpoint is not healthy. Our endpoint is not healthy. The reason behind this one is our deployment is in progress. It is in progress. So once it is deployed successfully, then our endpoint will be healthy and then it will generate. You can check your consumes. You can check your logs if you want. So you can see the details only, but these informations are not there. It is empty because the process is still in progress. It is still in progress. Now once this get completed, we can all verify these informations.
So Ashok, while this deployment is still happening, there are a
Yeah,
couple of questions that have come
yeah,
up in
please.
the chat. So I thought we could just go through that in the
Yeah, please,
interest of
please.
time as
Yeah,
well.
please,
So
please.
we have one question from Ganga Raju, who has asked that if these Azure machine learnings are applicable to all real-time projects or not.
All means what? First of all, I need to understand that.
Yeah. So, Ganga Raju, are you on the call? If you are on the call, can you come off on mute and just ask your question directly to Ashok, please? Or Ganga Raju, if you're more comfortable, if you could just like expand on your question a little bit. You had asked if is these machine learning applicable to all the real-time project? If you want to expand on that. Okay, so I think he means like in terms of a Python project as well.
Yeah, we can use it's a different link. There are different way to make your Azure machine learning trained. You can use Python, you can use C#. It's up to you which one you want. Okay, the thing is the reason behind when should we use this one. That is the important question to understand. Our deployment is completed. As you can see, it is completed. So now if I go back here, okay, our deployment has been completed successfully. So if I say refresh, my job is completed. Okay, and now if I click on the details, if I click on the test, see what it has done. It has just got the informations. These informations you can see day, month, year, season, holiday, weekday. Look at this headers and see this. See this. Now I want my machine learning or ML service or Azure ML service to predict some of the informations for me. So the values which are already there, I will replace them. I will replace them. I say 2024. Let's go with 2 or 3 seasons, holidays, weekday, now working days. You define 1 working days, 2 working days, 3 working days. And weather, define your, now temperature, define your temperature based on the area you are. Humidity you define. And wind speed. Now, so I am going to ask this to predict. Look at the value it has predicted. Now, similarly, if I go with 2023, look at it is 364. And if I go with this year, and what was the value that was last year? So based on the historical informations that we have supplied to our ML, it is predicting us that what will be your projections in this year, next year. Now you can also change this one to 5 days and weekday 5 and 2024. Now so machine learning, what we did is we supplied some of the historical data to our ML and we trained our ML. We trained our ML, and now based on the informations that we have supplied, it is actually helping us to make some of the decisions based on which we can actually make some decisions and we can invest or something. If you see your consumes, now previously it was blank. Now you can see, and if you see your logs, it has generated logs as well. Previously, it was blank. So you can use the logs for your reference. So you can create your some of the project, and you can use this service to predict some of your past experience or your future demand. You can see, guys, that we discuss about designer, notebooks. Okay, so it's up to you which component you want to use. Yes,
Perfect.
Nora. Yeah,
Ashok, we'll just open it up to a couple of questions that have come
yeah,
in the
please,
chat. I
please.
do know that we are running over time, so I just want to be mindful for that. We have one question from Kushi, who has asked, is it possible to make use of Microsoft Azure in text-to-speech conversions?
Yes,
Also,
definitely. Yes,
okay.
yes, yes, possible. Yes, possible. But today our topic is something different, and you are talking about a different component, which we will cover in our coming days.
Perfect. Great. So, Kushi, just stay tuned. We are going to be sharing different mentoring sessions and the different themes in the coming weeks. So, you will get your deep dive answer for that as well. The second part to her question is if she can make use of the text to speech conversions in an ISTM project as well.
ISTM means?
Um, Kushi, I'm not sure. Can you just post it in the chat once, if you'd like to just LSTM project.
LSTN.
TM, M for Mumbai.
Yeah, M. Can you please
Kushi, do you want to just expand a little bit on that question and the acronym as well, so we know exactly? So she says it's a long short-term memory.
long short-term memory.
Memory for
Mm.
text-to-speech conversions.
Yeah, a lot of things is possible, Kusi. It's up to you. Yes, and in our next coming session, we will when we will cover the topic, you can see that.
Right,
Long.
perfect. So Kushi, just stay tuned.
It
Long,
is.
short-term memory.
Okay. Okay.
So we have another question in the chat. Just one second. I'm just getting to that question. So one student has asked, this is from Lakshmi Priya Kasi, has asked, what is the size of the data set you used today and how many features were a part of it?
Kusi, can you see this?
So Lakshmi, this is just directed to you. If you can see Ashok's screen right now, that should help you with the question.
It's not GB, it's not TV. Okay.
Yeah, correct. Okay, great. I think, Lakshmi, I hope that answers your question. We have one question from Asif, who has asked if I have built my own website and a user enters the input details where I have provided a set of columns, how to integrate the trained model to my website so that he can get the result on his website.
What was his name?
Asif.
Asif.
Yeah.
Asif, this is what is a historical data. Okay, it's not like you have suppose you want to pull the informations from your, for example, you have a website. Let's go back here. You have a web. This is your user. They are connected through internet. This is your website. Okay, this is your website, and the users, they supply some input here. They supply some input here, and these inputs are going where? Suppose that you say SQL database. Okay, these are in DB. Okay, and now what you have is you have ML, Azure ML. So ml.azure.com, and you have the Azure. You have to have your Azure subscription. Okay, Azure subscription. So this is now you saw that uh, when I define that URL. Okay, when I define that URL, there was 4 different options. There were 4 different options. One was website, okay, which I demonstrated. I defined the URL. But there was this option as well, database. So in that case, you had to define this one. So instead of the website, you had to use this one, your DB. I hope you got your answer. Is it clear, Arif?
Yes.
Asif?
So Asif says that he understood, and thank you for your explanation as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Asif.
Thank you, Ashok. Students, we're just going to take the last 2 questions in the interest of time. I know we're over by 15 minutes. If you have any additional questions, please do write to us at support@futurereadytalent.in. We will try to get a response for your questions as well via email. And also to let you know, next week on Wednesday, same time, we will be having another session from Ashok on a different topic as well. So this will be an ongoing series. For next week's session, we are planning to have a theme around analyzing video with Video Analyze. So that is going to be the theme for next week, and we will be sharing more of that information in our email communication. So please do stay tuned. We do want to make sure that we are giving special attention to our FRT students and assisting you in thinking and developing your projects with an AI lens as well, so that you're also market ready and, approachable for recruiters as well, because this is a high demand technology right now as well. So we'll just take the last 2 questions. The first question, Ashok, is from Animesh Das. They ask if you will teach how to create the data for training from normal text to pre-processed data.
Mm. That is something different, actually, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it is actually a different concept. So if we get time, I will definitely focus on that one.
Perfect. Okay, so Animesh, that should answer your question. It is a different topic. So, continue to be a part of our sessions.
Yeah.
We will try to address it at some point, but it is a very different theme. So I think it'll take Ashok another 1 hour to just address that question. And we need to also move on and close with the session. So last question for you, Ashok, is from Venkat Vamsi. He's asked, how can I monitor and evaluate auto ML models, sorry.
How you can?
How can I monitor and evaluate auto machine learning models?
Question is, how you want to monitor, what you want to actually monitor.
So Venkat, Vamsi, if you're on the call, if you'd like to just come off on mute and you can just directly ask Ashok your
Yeah.
question. Or if you're not comfortable and you'd rather post it on chat, either way. But if you could just expand on your question so that Ashok has the full information to answer, please. So I think we don't have any response from Venkat. They might have dropped off.
Hmm.
Um, So no worries. We will, if they respond, for students whose questions have not been answered, just please write to us at support@futurereadytalent.in and we will get to your question as well. And as I mentioned, we will be having Ashok as well next week, and he will be showing a different theme around AI integration for your FRT projects. So please also do stay tuned for that and participate. Just one call out, Venkat, we don't actively advertise Telegram groups that are not directly associated officially with FRT. So please do not publicize that on the chat either. With that, I think, Ashok, anything last from your side? Otherwise,
Thank
I
you.
think we can
See
close the
you. See
session.
you. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Thank you so much, Ashok, for your time, and thank you, students,
Thank
as
you.
well, for joining in. Please be in touch. We will be sharing more details regarding the upcoming sessions, as
Yeah,
well
one
as.
more thing, guys.
Yes.
One more thing, guys. Uh, when it comes to perform the demo or something like if you are performing some of the your practice sessions, do it. Okay, do it, and then don't leave your resources running. Okay, so what I will recommend you is just go to the Azure resource group and simply delete your resource group. So this will delete all the resources that you have deployed, and this will help you save your money. If you forget, like you deploy some of the services, you use some of the Azure services, so your credit will get uh, like yeah, finished very soon, very faster. And if you have used your credit card, though Microsoft never charge you, they will send you a message before charging. But still, many students we have come across, they don't respond to the mail, and then Microsoft charge. Microsoft never charge you without asking, but they send you several messages to delete your resources which are over consumed. So guys, as a best practice, deploy your resources, perform your practice, perform your lab, do your practice, and soon after you complete your task, don't forget to delete your resources. This will save your money.
Okay, thank you, Ashok. And just to add on that, students, you do get
Yeah.
$100 free Azure credits. Please be mindful how you use it. Once you submit your projects, evaluation will take a maximum of 15 days. It can take earlier, so less than that, but do keep in mind that for 15 days at least, your project needs to be running. So be mindful of that, as Ashok mentioned, that make sure you're not keeping your resources running without knowing how long your evaluation process is also going to take. So it takes 15 days for evaluations to be completed. So please keep that in mind also when you're submitting your project. For students whose Azure credits have expired and you've already submitted your projects, this is why we do ask that in your GitHub README file, please add screenshots of the Azure portal. Please add screenshots of your project as well, so that when evaluators are going through your project, in case your Azure credits have expired, they can still give you some credits based on the screenshots that you have shared. If you haven't shared any screenshots, we will not be able to successfully evaluate your project, and you'll have to redo the entire process. So just please be mindful for that. Um, with that, I'd like to thank you, Ashok, again for
Thank you.
being a part of
Thank you,
this
Nira.
session. Look forward to next week's session as well. And
Yes,
thank you,
thanks.
students, for joining in as well. Have a
Thank you,
great
everyone.
rest of your Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank